Hey, how are you doing? I'm Vasco Duarte, your host on the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, and I've got some exciting news. So, right now, as I record this, I'm holding in my hand the signed contract for our very first Global Agile Summit. We're all in, and I couldn't wait to share this news with you. So mark your calendars, May 18th to 20th of 2025 in Tallinn, Estonia. We're going to have a transformative experience. We're putting together an event that it's all about real-life Agile. It's not theory or buzzwords. It's practitioners sharing what's working, what's making an impact, and how they've overcome challenges that you too will have to face, or maybe even facing right now. We're bringing together the best stories in Agile, from product leaders to engineering wizards to business visionaries. These will be stories that will inspire you to action. This isn't just another conference. It's a chance to connect with the people that are shaping the future of Agile. And here's the best part. Right now, we're in our super early bird phase. And that means you can grab tickets at just 25% of the final price. Look, that's not just half off. It's half off of the half off. It's an incredible deal for our dedicated community members, just like you, listening to this right now. So at the summit, day one will be all about hands-on workshops. And days 2 and 3 will dive into leadership, product strategy, coding, testing, and everything that makes Agile thrive in organizations right now. Remember, these are all first-person, real-life stories. Now, whether you're a leader, a developer, or part of a consulting company, this event is built to take your Agile game to the next level. So don't wait. Go to globalagilesummit.com and grab your ticket today. Let's all make 2025 the year Agile truly transforms your teams, your business, and our industry. I'll see you all in Tallinn. And remember, go to globalagilesummit.com and get your super early bird ticket right now. It will only be available until the agenda is announced. So don't wait. Grab it right now. Right, now that that's out of the way, on to the episode. Welcome back to our 5 Wishes for 2025 series. I'm Vasco, and today we're talking about something that drives me absolutely crazy. That is our obsession with focusing on managing tasks instead of learning what actually works. And here's why this task manager anti-pattern is frustrating for me. You know, when teams start a new project, there's all this energy and hope, everybody's positive. It's almost like the first day of summer camp. But then something happens. We get so caught up in managing the backlog that we forget why we started the delivery in the first place. It's like planning a road trip by focusing only on the gas stops instead of the destination. This just do it attitude might work great for Nike, but in software, it's more like just do it and pray it works. I mean, we've all been there. Being the Backlog Secretary, obsessively organizing tasks while losing sight of what actually matters. Here's what gets me excited. And trust me, it takes more than just coffee to get me this fired up. And I just had coffee on top of this. So instead of playing this Backlog Secretary role, what if we focus on running 24-hour experiments? 24 hours, I hear you say? Vasco, you finally lost it. Yeah, maybe I did. But, hear me out. Just a second. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was working with this client, and they were, how should I say it, like a cat in a dog show, very skeptic. But the workshop was like 3 days, but in 48 hours, the first 2 days, they had managed to release 2 market experiments and get real customer feedback. 2 market experiments in the time that it usually takes many teams to finish their PI planning. Think about that. And it's not just them. Right now, I'm working with a startup. We meet twice a week to design and run experiments. We're learning more in a week than many teams learn in a month or even 6 months. I mean, especially if you release once or twice a year. And this learning speed, it's like having a superpower. It's almost like the ability to see the future. And how do we do that? By testing quickly. Here's the high-level process. I can go into detail of that in a later episode. If you're interested in that, just drop me a link in the comments or share and tag me on LinkedIn. Let me know that you want to go more into details. But here's the high-level process. First, we start with a concrete business goal. And I don't mean this fluffy, be the best nonsense. I mean real, measurable targets. And we do this by using a tool we call the business value equation that tries to distill your business model into concrete, measurable aspects. When we have that, we create a metrics tree. It's a fancy name, but it's a very simple concept. We basically break down those high-level goals from step one into what we can measure at the product development side on a daily basis. And we do that because we want to know if we are progressing, of course. Then comes the fun part. Then we start the experiment. Somebody comes up with the idea of a new feature, we test it. Somebody wants to change something that is already there, we test it. It's almost like being a scientist without the white coat, unless you're into that sort of thing. And that's fine, no judgment here. Wear your white coat if you want. But that's the idea, right? High-level goals, break it down to daily metrics, and then everything we do is an experiment that tracks those daily metrics to make sure that we are on track to reach our goal. And let me tell you about another team. This particular team transformed from what you would, in many cases, call these days a feature factory mode, the just keep building stuff and be a secretary to the backlog approach. And they moved from that to what I call the experiment mode. So the product owner would come up with these high-level questions based on the goals that we had, right, from the process we just discussed. And the team would get creative, and together with the PO, they would start brainstorming potential ways to answer those questions. And I mean, being there and coaching them was almost like watching a detective show, but instead of solving the crimes, we were solving customer problems, right? Because the business goals can only be achieved when we're actually serving someone, right? And that's where the focus was. And Lean Startup calls this the build, measure, learn cycle. I like to call it the question, experiment, insight cycle. This cycle changes everything. It's almost like having a GPS for our product development instead of just driving blindfolded, following a list of instructions that being dictated by our co-driver and hoping for the best. I mean, it works for rally, but they're not blindfolded, and also they've driven those stages many times, and they're amazing drivers as well, right? But in product development, the challenge and the focus should be more in being in this search mode, right? You're searching for what has an impact and delivers the business goals that you are hoping to achieve. So this is my wish for 2025, the third wish of the week. Let's stop being backlog secretaries and start being product scientists. Let's run experiments, let's learn fast, and actually drive an impact for our business and our products. And also, I mean, let's be honest, it's a lot more fun to work this way than it was to work in this backlog secretary task management anti-pattern that we've been working so far. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, okay, but how does this happen in practice? How do I make sure that I'm doing the right things in my team to help them to do this transition? Well, lucky you, we're putting together an event at the Global Agile Summit 2025, which will happen in Tallinn, Estonia. And we'll have real teams sharing real stories about how they are doing this right now. So if you're listening to this during Christmas 2024 or the New Year's, we got a present for you. It's a 75% discount on the tickets. That's better than any Black Friday deal you'll find. Let's call it the White Wednesday deal because, today's Wednesday. So get the super early bird ticket now. It's available at globalagilesummit.com. So it's globalagilesummit.com, and the super early bird deal is available there right now, but do it quickly because as soon as we announce the agenda, of course, the prices will go up. The super early bird ticket is there because I think you believe we can put an awesome event together And we believe that too. And before we can show you the agenda, now is a great time to get a discounted ticket and attend what I think will be an awesome, impactful event, sharing real life stories that really will inspire you to action. Before we go, remember, a backlog full of tasks is like a restaurant full of recipes. It actually means nothing until you know what the customers actually enjoy eating, right? The proof is in the experiment, right? So I'll talk to you tomorrow again. So keep experimenting, and I'll see you in Tallinn. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.